right, everybody, welcome to another episode of JC Live. I'm your host, Dwayne Dunleavy, and I've been having so much fun interviewing people, and it must be uh, Aries season because I've been interviewing yesterday. I had Ray Leah Lewis from America's Next Top Model. She's an Aries, and my guest today is an Aries. She is a model and an actress. She is also an instructor at John Casablancas, so you may have had her in your session, or if you don't go to John Casablancas, you would want to have her as one of your instructors because she's really fun and great. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Atonia Pettiford. Hello, Atonia.
What a lovely, lovely welcome, Dwayne. So glad to be here.
I'm so glad you could make it, and I'm so glad that we get to do what we get to do. And what is it that you think is the best part of being an instructor at JC?
Inspiring others.
Yeah.
I have always enjoyed sharing my knowledge, helping people get their foot in the door.
Uh-huh.
It's tough out there, and not everybody shares the best of tips. So that's how it started. But I've always enjoyed inspiring and teaching. I really literally did it throughout my entire career and still do today.
Yeah, isn't it amazing? And isn't it great to see these young people that just are getting into the business? It's so funny because I'm always telling them that, we've all been trained how to be viewers and how to be consumers of entertainment. But when they come behind the curtain and they start to see how it's all done, it's kind of mind-blowing, don't you think?
Is. Absolutely. There's so much involved.
Yeah.
It's a billion-dollar business, and there's just so much. I mean, you need to train as if you're training as an athlete, and you really need to know the profession, have the knowledge, the professional industry terms. I mean, it really makes a difference. So it's a lot involved, especially if you want a solid career.
Yeah, and I've been recently, I've been talking a lot with my session people that uh, this kind of business it's a blessing because it's not like being a doctor. A doctor, you have to go and get a certificate for years in college and all that. If you can simply learn how to look professional, you can be in an audition with someone who's been in the business for 20 years and look just as professional as them, right?
I have actually seen that happen, over the years. And I actually witnessed this where, the old days when castings were on a VHS tape. And I've shared this. If 20 people auditioned for a specific commercial, they all had to slate first and then run their lines. If the casting didn't like the slate, they didn't even bother watching the
Yeah, it's like 3 seconds. 3 seconds you get, basically.
So you may be new at this, but you have a glowing personality, enthusiasm, and passion. It could get your foot in the door. So that's one of the things I always share.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the people that look the most professional are the most professional. Like if you are making your videos and you have confidence and you're doing your hair and makeup correctly and you have a simple background and all these things that we teach at JC, you can look just as professional as anybody else and get so far in the business. Now, speaking about getting far in the business, you've been in the business for a while, and you started modeling, I believe it was, right? I have some pictures here. Let's take a look.
Oh my God, my old modeling days. Dwayne, I actually started out as a commercial print model. Wow. And back then, cigarette ads were popular and so forth and so on. But I had a great commercial print career. I was with an agency in Belarus and probably did upwards to 200 or 300 commercial print ads. That's where I started. And as most models do, as you know, I started auditioning for commercials and then voiceovers. And I actually liked that area. But that was one of the points where I realized, I need to take some acting lessons. Sometimes models start and, oh no, I don't need acting lessons. But yeah, I did.
It's funny. I've been saying that a lot lately too, because I find that sometimes people, when they come into JC for the first time and we say, oh, what do you want to do? Do you want to act? Do you want to model? They'll choose one and then they'll think they don't need the other one. And so what I've been saying is that acting is modeling with words and modeling is acting without words. So you need both.
Favorite line. Favorite line, modeling is acting without words. And I think that's why I had a long modeling career, because I realized, especially with commercial print and lifestyle, which is different from editorial, but
Yeah.
it's still, you're acting out scenarios. So that was really helpful. But then I know the acting made all the difference in the world. And so
Yeah.
again, after years, I got that film and television bug, and then TV hosting.
Yeah, isn't that great? And then, the hosting part of it too. A lot of people don't think about that. They think about being in movies and commercials. They think about being in magazines. Sometimes they don't think about the other things. There's parts modeling, there's hosting. There's so many different aspects to this business that you can even just check out a little bit, if you want to see what it's about. So what are some other things that you found that kind of brought you to hosting as opposed to just sticking with modeling?
That's a really good question. After doing this soap operas when they were really popular, I don't know. One day I just turned on the Home Shopping Network (QVC),
Mhm.
and I really enjoyed what they were doing.
Yeah.
So that was where, again, I did my. There wasn't a shopping network training school to go to. But what
Right.
I did do was I studied the host. I
Mhm.
loved describing things and, yada, yada, yada. And I took the time. I got gemstone books. I mean, I was already into fashion because I went to fashion industries and
Yeah.
MIT. I had that part down pat. But long story short, of course, there was the audition process and you had to actually present several different products. I studied for, oh my goodness, months. And I was fortunate enough to, get hired to be a host on the Home Shopping Network. I stayed there for about 3-4 years. The
Uh-huh.
training was excellent. You're on the air live, no cue cards, no teleprompter. Best training ever.
Wow,
And I
that is
really
amazing.
enjoyed that. And then from there, I just kept getting TV hosting jobs.
Wow, that's great. So you just gotta keep it going and because I even know firsthand, my mom, who's no longer with us, but 20 years ago, that was what kept her company a lot of the time is watching the Home Shopping Network, and it was like a friend to her, and I felt it too.
Wayne, you are not exaggerating. It literally, when I would get recognized, so it was so many heartfelt stories. I mean, I don't even want to tear up, but there were people, wow, there were people I would meet. And they
Yeah,
would say, thank you for being entertaining at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And
yeah,
that's my mom. I love, and then of course I got to talk to so many people on the air.
yeah.
Wow, that brings back memories.
Isn't that amazing? I also try to tell young people getting into the business, like, don't do this just for the people that may be your age or whatever. Do it for the woman who's in a trailer park all alone in the middle of the country, has nobody else to talk to, and you can be a part of that person's life, you know?
Exactly. Exactly. It was so rewarding.
Yeah, it really is. And some people will never leave their homes, and entertainment is everything to them. So that's a huge part of the audience out there in this country. Um,
Exactly.
Now, another thing that we always talk about is, when you're getting into the business, is preparation, being prepared, marketing, all of these kinds of stuff that we work on at John Casablancas. Um, when when I started in the 80s and in my teens, I was auditioning and stuff. We didn't have anything like we have today. And you used to have to pay hundreds of dollars, if not 1,000 for a photo shoot. And then you would get one photo for 25 bucks.
I was there in those days too, Dwayne.
Right? And it's just a crazy thing. Remember we used to have glamour shots and all
Yeah,
that
but I
stuff?
remember I did, but they were fabulous. But I
Yeah,
remember one headshot photo session, which actually got me in the door. But that
yeah.
photo session was like 600, $700.
Yeah, me
Headshots,
too. Every single one
not
I
your
did.
body, headshots.
Yeah, exactly. And now, so I try to tell these young people, the fact that you can do everything in your living room should mean that there is no excuse for you to not have all your stuff.
Wow. Nothing, we had nothing like this.
Yeah.
No, it was all in person, trudging, not learning, not knowing that, not from the comfort of our home. And
Yeah.
yeah, that what you say is absolutely so correct. It's the industry has changed,
Mhm.
but in a lot of ways, it's so easier, maybe
Yeah.
convenient, so forth and
Yeah.
so on. A big change, but a good change.
Yeah, I think it's gotten easier, but what I tell people is that because it's easier, there's many more people going after the job. So you've got to be on point or it is so obvious.
Understatement.
Yeah.
That's why I mentioned being as professional as possible, know what you're doing at an audition, everything, because every other person wants to jump into this. you've got to set yourself apart from everybody else.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes it's not even about being the best at reading lines or the best
Mhm.
actor. Sometimes it's literally you just happen to be what's in that casting director's mind for that part. And
Exactly.
you'll see people, I've seen it happen a million times in auditions. The person that didn't do very well gets the part. And you're like, how did that happen? That's why I tell people, don't put everything on these auditions. Auditions are basically just free classes
They really are.
to do stuff in front of strangers.
You learn so much from auditioning.
Yeah,
And
you
and
really
and
do.
and the takeaway is absolutely be ready for it,
Yeah,
rejection, but you turn your rejection into a learning lesson.
yeah,
Yeah, you
absolutely.
have to accept rejection. You're not gonna book everything.
Right, exactly.
Nobody does.
It's so nice too. I was talking yesterday with Ray Leah, who was the one of the models on America's Top Model, Cycle 21. And we were talking about how inclusiveness is so great now. 20 years ago, it was not like it is now. Everybody is represented and everybody is being used in everything. How have you seen? Have you? I've seen it, so you must have noticed it.
Understatement.
Yeah,
I mean, it was just the little things. I mean, the diversity is fabulous, but it even goes beyond that. Again, when I was in modeling, I mean, I was fortunate. I'm not very tall, but I'm one of those fortunate ones that did book a lot. But back in the day, I mean, you had to be 5'7", 5'8" just to book a mascara ad.
yeah,
If you were under 21 or looked like you were past 28, 29 for some, you got less work. I mean, it was just a plus size model, not happening.
yeah,
What a wonderful change that's
yeah,
happening right now.
yeah.
So it's amazing. I'm glad that I'm still around to, to see the changes.
Yeah, isn't it kind of amazing that we get to do stuff like even right now, here I am in my own little studio and being able to broadcast to people. I mean, this would have been mind-blowing 20 years ago.
I would have
So
to trudge it on the subway to come meet you at the studio.
exactly. Yeah, isn't that wild? Yeah, and you could and even, I try to tell people that people didn't videotape themselves for auditions the old days. You had to go in, that was it. You didn't do this, you can audition for movies filming in LA, New York, and Miami, and you can do it all from your bedroom if you want.
And it's nice in one sense too, because when you, as you said, when you go to that in-person audition, first
Yeah.
audition, like the old days, you had that generally that one shot. But with the self-taping, you don't like what you taped the first time, you can do it over again, do it a couple of times before you send in that tape. So there's a lot of advantages to the self-taping.
Definitely, absolutely. Let me see if I can show a couple of tapes of you. I'm hoping
Oh
they
my
come up.
gosh.
Let's see a couple of your old, demo tapes.
Yes,
This one.
the old demo tapes. They're important. Let's check it out. Hopefully it pops up.
There she is.
Oh my goodness. Now, Dwayne, I can't see what you're looking at, so share it with me.
Yeah, I'm wondering why it won't share to you, but I think it's being shared to the viewers.
I think so too. I got a message in the chat. What you looking at, Dwayne?
We are looking at your FYE.
Oh my gosh, that was E Entertainment. And really briefly, my sister was starring on Broadway at the time in
Wow.
Fosse. She was actually nominated for a Tony. And ironically, I had booked hosting on E Entertainment, and she was one of my first. I actually interviewed the cast. In
Wow.
fact, one of the gentlemen that I think we do the hat trick.
Yeah.
He's the one that is this premier choreographer that's choreographed like 5 million Broadway shows. Don't quote me if I'm wrong, Hamilton and da 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 da. But anyway, so it was a wonderful moment to interview my sister, who happens to be on like 5 TV shows right now.
Wow, that is amazing. Yeah, your sister is actually on a new show,
Yes.
that is let me show the people that because I have a little picture here. It's hard when you don't have a producer, but then again, look at me. I was talking about how you can do everything yourself, and I'm doing it. So
From one thing, your producer, host, all in one, my love.
I'm doing everything. All right, so yeah, so here is the show. It's
Oh, there
called
I see
Family
it. Oh
Business.
my gosh. Yep, my sister, it was trending on Netflix, which is exciting.
Wow.
but she's been in the business forever. And as I mentioned, and thank you for sharing this with the audience. That's me in the
Absolutely.
movie The Cotton Club. I was
That's
dancing with
you.
Gregory Hines.
That's
That's me,
awesome.
lovely Gregory Hines.
And then this is your sister, right?
This is her. I believe this is I think this is a poster where they had the dancers, including Cheetah Rivera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But she started in Broadway.
Wow.
And went on now to do many TV shows and movies.
That is so great. Yeah, that's so awesome. Well, I'm gonna have to definitely check that out. It looks great. I love that actor too. He's been in everything.
Ernie Hudson.
Is that his name?
Yes.
Yeah.
He plays my sister's husband.
Wow. I recognized him for years.
He was in Ghostbusters.
Oh, right. That's right. Yes.
And many other things, as you said.
Yeah, that's great.
Such a
That's
lovely
amazing. That's so cool. And so, and you live in New York, right? You're based in New York City.
I am.
Does your sister live there? Does she live in
Los
LA?
Angeles.
Ah, she's in LA. So you got both the coasts covered.
Definitely.
That's awesome. Well, it has been so great to have you on today. I'm sure we could just talk for hours. I know we could. But I'm so glad that you were able to connect with us and with our viewers today and future JC alumni who will look back at this video and get to know you a little bit better. And hopefully those of you who are JC members will have Atonia as an instructor soon. So thank you so much. I can't wait to work with you again.
Me too.
And everybody, thank you for watching and keep your eyes out for our next episode. See you later.